question.
Yes,
That's
go
wonderful.
live.
It's a triple check to ask the question.
Yes, and it is. And we are live.
Good
Yes.
evening, Mr. Wamble. How are you?
I am great. Is it Tuesday?
Not quite.
Not
How?
quite. So
Not
this is
quite.
very special. This is a special interludes extra special Monday.
I
And
know.
what brings us together? Someone very important and special, right?
Of course. I love the direction that we're going in where we're talking to more filmmakers, actors, and producers that work in this wonderful thing called Hollywood. And we have a special guest coming up, but we'll bring her up in a few seconds. Here we go.
Hey Val, the voice. It's good to see you. Day early, so I know must be for a very special reason. Tell us why we are here.
Well, one of the reasons why we're here, I was told by a good friend of mine, Lorenzo King. He says, "You know what? My daughter is in a movie, and it's on Hallmark." And I said, "Your daughter is in a movie on Hallmark? Really? Mahogany? And do you remember the Mahogany Hallmark cards you used
Of
to
course
buy
I do. Of course I
Mother's Day?"
do. Yes, yeah, with Maya Angelou and Jill Scott. Yeah, I remember those. I
Mhm.
remember like they still make them. I still get them. I got a birthday coming up this Friday. I got my daughter's birthday, so yeah, I know
So you got to make
mahogany.
sure that you got to make sure
Yeah,
that you
pick
got
up
to make sure that you
right.
get that. You got to make
Definitely.
sure you got to make sure that you get that. Well, the great thing is that uh, Letitia A. King, she is an actress that is in the movie called Spring Breakthrough, and we're going to bring her on the stage. Welcome, Letitia. How are you today?
I buy mahogany cars too. I make it intentional to buy
Yeah,
mahogany cars.
definitely, because I recognize it because I look at the cars. It's like the cars with the braids, the cars with the braids and the fros. That's the ones I want.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. And there's some greetings. Hello, Carlin. Great to see you out of New York. She's doing wonderful things, Val. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for that. Oh my gosh. This is exciting because this film, which stars some people that I know, but then I was thinking, oh my goodness, I want to make sure that I go ahead. I love the line when one door closes, another one opens. You deliver that line as your character, Denise Johnson. Oh my gosh, me and your character could be related.
She
And
was fun.
it's the romantic comedy called Spring Breakthrough. Oh my goodness. So uh look, your father Lorenzo told me about it. What were you doing when you found out you got the part? What was your reaction?
Oh gosh. I was around the house. I was playing music on my iPhone and I was sitting at my desk when I played the music and then I walked away. So I heard
Mhm.
the music go down and I was like, as soon as I walk away from my desk, someone's gonna call me. So I go back to my desk and I see a text message from my agent. You booked it. And I'm like, what did I book?
Wow. Yeah.
Y'all see me all the time. So this was probably a Tuesday or Wednesday. So I had several auditions the week before. So you just
Mhm.
never know if it was weeks ago or you never know. So when she told me what it was, I was in Alabama days later to film. So we filmed in Alabama. Yeah.
Oh
Nice.
my, Yeah,
Nice.
very nice. And so as I said earlier, you played Denise Johnson. She's a graphic designer, and she's playing Bestie to Monica, portrayed by Keesha Sharp, who I know from Lethal Weapon and Girlfriends. We're so glad to see characters originate, and they were originated out of Chicago, and then you guys traveled to Alabama. But I'm assuming it was all shot in Alabama.
It was shot in
Hmm.
Alabama.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I figured.
Yeah.
That's fine. So myself and Michael, we're out of Chicago, so we're always happy to see those type of things when they say, "Hey, something's in Chicago," and we're born and raised here. Usually, Hallmark movies are known for their family friendly and heartwarming themes. Spring Breakthrough is a romantic comedy with some very common and inspiring themes. What initially drew you to the project when you read for it at first?
I knew very early on that Denise was this strong friend, and I felt like
Hmm.
I could relate to her.
Okay.
Um, I was the comedic relief of the film, as you might have noticed. So that was
Did.
fun for me as well. When I started pursuing my acting career, I just thought drama, drama, drama. I'm gonna be crying on cue. This is what I want to do. But as you get to know me, you'll see how naturally animated I am. So comedy leads well for me. So it was exciting to be able to mess around with my comedic chops.
Oh wow! Have you ever done stand up comedy?
No, not that type of comedy.
I'm big.
Not
Preach
that
you
funny.
are.
I'll read somebody else's script and make it funny.
Oh my goodness. One of our favorite actors, and Michael, you know McKelly Williamson, you know him, right?
Michael T.
Yes, Michael T.
Yes.
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 Yeah. Know him pretty. Don't know him personally, but know of his work pretty well. We have a common friend who is an actor and has done a couple episodes of Chicago PD, and so he had the pleasure of being directed by him, just as you were for this. Those of you listening who and watching who may you're familiar with the name, but you're trying to make that connection. It's Bubba Gump, Bubba Shrimp from Forrest Gump. He's done so many other things, but that's the one thing that I know most people still relate to him. He's been behind the camera for many years doing television projects. Can you tell us a little bit about being directed by someone who has so much experience, both in front of and behind the camera? How did that help you through this process?
Oh gosh, that was the perfect combination. Having a director
Uh-oh, I think we lost her. Did we lose her? The internet demon found Miss King and grabbed her. Oh my gosh. Come on.
That's okay. It froze on such a beautiful. It's like the continents. Her countenance is just is nice. So when it does pop back, it'll be great.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, so we are as soon as it comes back on, we're talking with Letitia A. King, who's an actress out of Carolina, but has some connections to Chicago, which we'll get into when she rejoins us. She is
Exactly.
one of the stars of Spring Break,
Mhm.
Spring Breakthrough on the Hallmark Mahogany brand through Hallmark.
Mhm.
Now, it debuted on this weekend on
It did.
Sunday, but
Mhm.
you can find it on demand online at the Hallmark site, or if you have Comcast and Peacock, it is
Mhm.
available on demand through Peacock. Actually, I'm watching it now for the third time, both to see our guest and Keesha Sharp, who I looked up, and I guess she's only like 5'3". Val, she's
Yeah,
only 5'3". She's
she's
teeny
very
tiny.
she's very small. She's a very small
She
actress. And
pocket size. I could stick her in my inside my jacket and just walk around with her, and I would if I
and the
could.
the fun thing about this film was that it definitely is in the brand of Hallmark, and I was just a fan of it because I was seeing people that I recognize, and then
Hmm.
just knowing about it was shot in a very beautiful area of Alabama where they were
Gulf
off the
Shores.
coast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Gulf Shores. Sure.
beautiful, beautiful. And and the other actors that are here who you're looking at right here is Demetrius Grosse, Rhyon Nicole Brown, who plays Keesha Sharp's Monica's daughter Vivian, and Akono Dixon. You guys know him from All
Ooh.
American.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't see him. I don't see him where you looking at right now. I just see a nice shot of the two leads. Here, there we go. Now we're
you
getting
got
some
some more people there.
more people
Yeah.
coming in. We got some behind the scenes coming, and we are happy enough to bring back our special guest,
Hmm.
Laticia A. King. Hey, there we go.
Hello.
Yay! There she is.
I switched to my phone, so I don't know. The internet, I
That's
think,
cool.
went out.
That's cool. Because the movie Spring Breakthrough, you were in transit, so you were kind of in transit as we were
Like you
speaking.
are in this
But
picture.
and it was fine because you froze in a beautiful spot. You had this like wonderful look when you froze. So like, yeah, that's nice. That's nice. She'll be back in a
Oh
second. It is great.
no!
So I want
We
to
were
ask.
talking about Michael T.
What's
Yeah,
that?
Michael T. Tell us
We were
about
talking
Michael
about
T.
Michael
Yes, we
T.
were.
Yes.
Yes, actor director. Yes.
Yes, so he was the perfect person to direct us. To be an actor, it's just you know how to articulate things a little bit differently. You know how to say things to make us really take the action that you need us to take. So I think it helped the filming to move pretty quickly because all he had to say was one word. There was times where he just said Hallmark, and we knew, okay, maybe we should make this a little bit more light, make this a little bit more funny, a little bit more bubbly. you know, we knew what it mean, we knew what it meant. So he was amazing, the most genuine, kind director. He and our executive producer Sylvia Mathis, they made it a point to tell us how great we were doing. As actors, we are can be insecure beings. Like we will
Hmm.
perform and we will think about, should we have done it like that? Should I have done it like that? Was that okay? They made it a point to tell us daily and all the time as we were filming, great job, rock star, thank you, awesome. And it was a pleasure to work with both of them.
But before we go back into kind of your background and how you got started, I want to ask one more question about Spring Breakthrough,
Hmm.
Hmm.
and also just coming out of that Mahogany brand. You said your director, all he had to do was say Hallmark, and everybody knew what that meant. So Hallmark Channel is known for telling stories that are with Mahogany is through this African American female lens. And one of the things I was reading is that it's important that these stories have a happy ending, and that's
Mm.
part of the appeal. Why do you think that's appealing to an audience? And as a performer, is that what Hallmark meant when he said Hallmark? Is that what he was talking about?
It is exactly what it meant. It meant to make the moment a little lighter. It's so amazing to see us melanin on TV and film and to have happy stories. And I think that's important to have a happy ending. We don't want to always see someone dying and just a sad story. Sometimes we want to see someone get married and find love and rediscover themselves. And that's exactly what this film was about. It was about our lead character, played by Keesha Sharp, rediscovering herself. And I enjoyed it. I'll wait for y'all to ask the question about Keisha before I start talking about her. But yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I believe we all have a Denise or a bestie in our lives. How did you prepare for the role? And then what experience did you draw from to portray Denise? Because I loved your character. Just kind of you also were the sensible one that says, you know what, we're going. We're going to
Yeah.
Alabama. You may not want to go, but we're going.
We going.
Yeah. So I would say it wasn't a whole lot of prep to pull Denise out of me. We're actually very similar.
Mhm.
I would say that she's again the strong friend, but the dynamic between her and Monica's a strong friend too. And
Mhm.
so it was important for me as an actor. Keisha Sharp walks in the room, and it was important for me to stay strong in my character and to be that strong friend for her because even if you're the strong friend, any strong friends out there, you know that there are times in life where you just can't be strong. There are times
Mhm.
where things happen and you need someone to intercede for you and you need somebody to pray for you. You need somebody to tell you when you're wrong. And
Mhm.
that's where
Right.
that's what Denise did for Monica. So they both were strong friends, but at this point in time in Monica's life, she needed someone to lean on, and Denise was able to up her strongness and she up her strength, and she was there for Monica. Yeah.
Oh gosh. And of the ladies that you were working with, who did the most either shenanigans on set while you guys were in between takes?
Oh gosh. Oh my gosh, I would say it was the boys mostly, but
Ah.
um, but we all cut up and had a fun. It was really just like having a family reunion. We had,
Mm.
there was a scene in the movie that was cut. It was this boat scene, and so it was surprising last night. I'm like, where's the boat scene? Oh my god, we cut up on that boat. We had a great time. We played music, we danced, and that's what the whole set was. That was what the whole set was like. You came to work every day with people who were kind, and
Mm.
that was most important. Yesterday we had a pre-watch party before the movie and the cast got together, and that was kind of the theme of what we talked about of our experience. Like everybody was kind, everybody led with kindness, and we shot this film in 15 days.
What?
So
Wow.
yes, yes,
Wow.
shot in this film,
That's
and no,
amazing.
it was shot. We started the day after Super Bowl. I remember I went to fitting on Super Bowl day,
Mhm.
and I had to rush out because I wanted to see Rihanna. But I rushed out.
Hey, yes,
That was the most important part for me. So I
that's
rushed out
right.
of
There was a
fitting.
football game at a Rihanna concert, as some people have told me.
Exactly. So we started filming the very next day, and we wrapped. What is it? March 2nd, March 1st, March 2nd, that Friday.
Wow,
So that's
Mhm.
how
that's
quickly it
fast.
was filmed and was turned around. So yes.
Wow.
And what was
And
it like
Michael.
working with Keesha Sharp?
Oh my
Somebody
gosh.
whose face we recognize. I mean, if you don't recognize the name, you recognize the face for sure. And is she really that tiny? Because she looks teeny tiny, and I was looking up, and she's like 5'3". That's like Prince size. She's like Prince size.
Do you think 5'3" is short? I think we all were about 5'3", 5'4" then. We all were short. She is
Wow.
short. She is tiny. Most yeah, it's Hollywood, but she's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful,
Mhm.
kind, like I said, and I couldn't have asked for a better leading lady.
Mm.
She made sure everybody was okay, from the makeup artist. If y'all are sitting in the sun, hey, can we get a tent for them? I think it's too hot for them.
Oh
She did
wow.
those things.
Okay.
You
Okay.
asked me for what? You asked me for water. Okay, can you ask Letitia? Do you need water? Like she made sure everybody in her kind way was
Hmm.
okay. And she was just, it was amazing to learn from her. I mean, she made sure she spoke and interacted with everybody. She knew names on like day one. She made sure she thanked the background artist. Like it, God, she was again just kind and just an amazing talent. And if you don't know, Keesha is a director as well, and so
Mm.
that brought another element to us on
Mm.
set, because
Hmm.
as Michael T could be off to the side directing and thinking and figuring out things, there might be a little thing that she might whisper to me or whisper to somebody else, and it's like, okay,
Hmm.
let's play with that, let's do that. So I think her being such a strong actor and a director as well also helped us to get through the filming quickly. So
So let's focus in on you because you here with us, and we're so happy to have you, Laticia
thank you.
A. King, one of the stars of Spring Breakthrough, through Hallmark Mahogany, debuted over the weekend, but it's available on demand. So if you do have Xfinity and Peacock, you can just watch it like I am watching it right now. It's on the golf scene. So yeah. So I want to ask you about how you got started as an actress. Is this
Mhm.
something that developed early on, like with school plays or plays at church? Tell us how you evolved as an actress.
Yes, so I have been into the arts since I was a little girl. My parents will tell you. I was a cheerleader, an actor, dancer, tried to play piano. I tried to do everything. And they spent a lot of money on me. So so I I pursued, not pursued, I dabbled in creative things, I think probably up until college. And I never thought about acting as a career. I started off wanting to be a reporter in broadcast, and that's how I got my degrees in broadcast and media.
Me
Um,
too. Hey, I'm with you, sister. All right.
but
Same here.
but I was on the side of media that was the daily news, and so what leads that leads. That was the philosophy,
Yes.
and I knew that I was not interested in knocking on someone's door to get a soundbite after they had a tragedy. And I
Mhm.
also knew that I had student loans that needed to be paid very soon. Okay. and that reporter job was not going to pay him. So I decided to go back to grad school, and I don't know. I took the practical route. Is the short answer. I took the practical route. I worked in a bank. I did marketing and paid the bills. I've done well in my professional career as far as marketing, but it just was not what I'm supposed. It's not the purpose, right? And
Mhm.
so at one point in time, I think it was like 2015, 2016, God kept telling me to move to Atlanta. Kept saying Atlanta, Atlanta, Atlanta. I told people for
Wow.
months, I'm moving to Atlanta. And they were like, what? I don't know, I'm moving. And I got to Atlanta, my move day. There was like a hurricane. Life fell apart. My car fell apart.
No.
Love, life, work, everything you can think of fell apart as soon as I moved to Atlanta. But I knew I was supposed to be here. And so I went back to prayer, and I went back to the Lord and said, you told me that I'm supposed to be here, and I believe that. I just don't understand. And so I found myself working out, and I was on a treadmill and an elliptical, and it hit me. Lord, what can I do to have fun right now? What can I do to just uplift myself right now? And he told me, go do some of the fun things you did as a little girl. And so I was like, okay, acting. Okay. I took my first acting class here, and I was just observing the class. They were doing a scene about yogurt, and I'm just watching. I'm in the back of the room just crying, like, oh my God, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Wait, did you say yogurt?
She said yogurt. That's why I laugh.
Okay. All right. I just
they
wanted to make sure.
they were practicing on a commercial, and it was about yogurt, and I was like, oh God, I'm supposed to be doing this. So ever since then, which was 2017, I believe, I started
Mhm.
pursuing acting professionally, which means taking classes and training with the best and getting the agent. I didn't get an agent immediately. It took me some time to get an agent. I went through a couple different agents until I got what I thought was a good fit and what I think is a good fit. And yeah, that's where we've been. I've been auditioning and booking here and there, ever since. So that's the story. I had to pray about that thing, and God brought it back to me. I was like, you know what? This is purpose. This is it. So
Now we're
yeah,
reaching you in Chicago. You spent some time in Chicago.
I
Is that right?
did.
Yay. The
I
Chicago
did.
connection.
I went to Columbia College Chicago for grad school.
All right.
Yes. So yeah, what an amazing Chicago's so beautiful. It's the
Thank
city
you.
that and I've lived in so many different, well, several different cities, but it's the
Mhm.
city that I wouldn't have moved from, but it was just a little too far away from home. A little too far away from home. I have no complaints about the weather. I love the cold. It's just too far
Mhm.
away from home. So, yeah, I went to Columbia College. I got my master's in arts, entertainment, and media studies, and a business degree basically within the arts field. And so that helped me within my marketing and my creative career. So, but shout out
What?
to Columbia College.
I
Okay.
know. I
And
know.
and
It,
and, and, and going and also in your development as an artist, you've also written. Is that right?
I have, yes. I have so many stories in my mind that I
mhm.
know that I need to get out. So, yeah, I'm working on writing some screenplays, and I'd love to do some episodes of TV as well. So, those are things that I am currently pursuing. I would be interested in directing as well. So, you never know how
Wow.
this career is going to turn out. So,
I know. And what advice would you give someone just starting out in the acting field where they're trying to, because you said it took you a minute to get you took you a minute to get your agent, and then of course I've been told to do background work. That's how some people get into it. But what would be your advice to anyone that's starting out in
yeah,
acting?
so I would say to someone who wants to have principal roles, which is speaking roles, not background roles. If you'd like to
Mhm.
have principal roles, the first thing to do is to find training, research the training in your area. Everything after COVID, there's so many studios that are online now, but
Mhm.
training is the first focus. You learn so much about the business, you learn about what you're doing. This is my first film, and
Yeah.
it wasn't until yesterday that the director and executive producer found out that it was my first film. They had no idea based upon how I carried myself on
Good for
set.
you.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
important for me to not reveal that. I wanted to learn, so I was open to learning, absolutely. But I
Mhm.
didn't want to reveal, like, oh my God, I have no idea what I'm doing. What camera am I looking at? Like, so I didn't want to reveal that. But again, so that's why I say I learned so much from Keesha. But definitely someone who, if you want to pursue this career, absolutely training, training, training. I would not even focus on the agent part of the business.
Okay.
They say that this is a sprint, not a marathon, and that is so true. This changed for me early on. At first you get beat down, like, oh my God, why can't I find an agent? I'm doing so well in class. I'm standing out in
Mhm.
class when I'm performing. Why can't I find an agent? It was kind of ego got in the way at times when you would go into a professional event and the first thing they say, well, who's your agent or who has an agent? And I'm like, oh, I don't have one yet. So to me, I had to change my perspective, and you have to enjoy the journey. And things
Right.
changed when I understood that. When I understood, you know what? I'm going to learn, I'm going to meet people, I'm going to help people. When you're doing auditions, people need somebody to read the lines for them, so that's called a reader. So I
All right.
volunteer to be people's readers all day long. I'm learning from you. One of my favorite actors is Donna Bisco. I trained with her. You've seen her on everything. I
Okay.
We trained together. I was a reader for her, and I
Oh,
learned so much from her and watching her audition. I upped my game so much from just working with her. So, yeah, being of service to other people and training, and that should be the first thing, and then it will all fall in place.
oh my gosh. And the training, I would have never have known that this was
Yeah.
your first film. The kind of the kind of the conversation and just ease of how you spoke with Keisha's character Monica, and just kind of like I was looking at your character going, I trust Denise. Okay, if she told me, and you're being too harsh on your daughter, oh, things are working out for you and this guy. Let's let it happen. It's like
Yeah.
you were her cheerleader and definitely egging her on, kind of her mirror. And then oh, I got injured, but you're gonna go off and you're gonna do your thing and do golf. But then you're gonna come back and tell me about it. I never would have known.
Yeah.
Letitia, this was
I've done
your first role. Never would have known.
I've done some TV, but this is my
Mhm.
first film and this big of a film. So, yeah, and that chemistry that Keisha and I were able to build on day one was important. Our first scene was that airport scene, and we jumped right in.
Oh
We
wow.
jumped
Okay.
right
Okay.
in.
Yeah.
We
No,
jumped right in.
that was great. Yeah. That
Oh,
was. Yeah. And that. One of the things I'm wondering about in terms of your acting, what kind of roles are you looking forward to in the future? Are you
mhm.
gonna? Do you want to be film, TV, stage? What's in the future for Letitia A. King?
I love TV and film. I've done some stage work. I've done for Colored Girls. A few years ago, I played Lady in Red. It was amazing. It was so therapeutic for me.
Wow,
But
yeah.
stage is so different, and kudos to those actors. It is so much more challenging, in my opinion. There is no cut. There is no
Yeah.
edit.
Nope.
It is
You
live.
keep going.
Exactly. But I love TV and film. I love it. So I want to stay in that lane. Either one. Let's do both. I'm interested in both, and I'm still very much so interested in comedy and drama. I feel like I can do both.
Yeah, and I honestly feel like sky's the limit with this, and we're excited that and great to be able to support you in this, because like myself and like Michael, we like I said earlier, we just did not know this was your first film. We thought, oh, she's been probably acting for years because she's just flowing in and out of the scenes like it's butter. And it's sometimes you can be intimidated. And when you said everyone on the set was nice and that was
Mhm.
from the director to the folks working in the grip and the set. That makes everything. And Michael, can you believe this was all done in 15 days? I cannot
No, no,
comprehend this at
and
all.
you have great presence on the screen. You kinda light up
Mhm.
on the
Thank you.
screen, and you have to, cause you next to Keesha Sharp. So,
Okay.
right, right? I mean, like, hey, you better hold your own, and you do. You do so
Thank
well.
you. Thank you.
I mean, we really look forward to future projects from you. We certainly thank you for having some time to talk to us today. This is great. I mean, what we learned is amazing. I wouldn't have thought any of that. 15 days, the set, the whole Hallmark thing. I don't want to, out myself or tell on myself, but I certainly have watched a few Hallmark movies in my time. You
They're
know,
lovely.
in
They're feel
between
good.
basketball games, of course, right, and football and all. But I watched a few Hallmark movies. This is a nice movie. Yeah.
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 But
Well,
thank you.
thank you. I
And thank you
appreciate you
so
guys having me.
Yeah, and thank you so much for being here because I'm a huge fan of Hallmark, and my biggest complaint was I want to see more people that look like us, and it has
Mhm.
now happened.
It is happening. Mahogany is, from what I understand, is trying to push out several movies a year. So this is happening. Mahogany is coming to Hallmark in a way in TV and film now. So I think this was the fourth project. So go back and look at the other three that came before Spring Breaker.
Right.
But yeah,
Nashville legacies,
legacies
some
and
of the
a few.
others. Hey, hey, hey!
Yeah,
Like I said, I know, I know. Hey,
listen to you. Listen to you. He
We
watches.
did.
He watch Hallmark.
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Letitia A. King, thank you so very much for
Thank
joining
you,
us on
Val. Thank you,
today. Oh
Michael.
my gosh.
Thank you. I appreciate you for having me. Thank you, Val. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you so
Oh my
much.
gosh. And whenever you are in another film, come on back and see us
Absolutely.
Yeah.
and bring
Absolutely.
friends.
I will follow and I will say I'm trying to get better in the social media world. So
Mhm.
I
If
will say
someone wants to follow you, yes.
yes, follow me on Instagram at I am Laticia King. That's Laticia King King. I am Letitia King.
Wonderful, wonderful. Oh my gosh. Hey, Michael,
Yes.
this is another one. And we thank you
Yes.
so very much as we close out. Oh my gosh. We'll see
Thank
you in a
you.
few. Thank you. Oh my
Thank
gosh.
you.
You. Right.
Well, Michael,
Yeah.
we've got the whole thing happening for tomorrow.
Yeah, we do.
I kn-
Definitely. What is for tomorrow? So she was telling you can find her at I am Letitia
Mhm.
King on Instagram. Yes.
Exactly, exactly. And our this is do you know it's National Small Business Week, Michael. And our
Okay.
sponsor, I'm so happy to say this, our sponsor for the week, for the next couple of weeks will be On Point Design.
Ain't nothing small about them. They do good work.
We help you with your manuscript to finished book, making sure that everything is
Is
on
on
point.
point.
So go ahead and visit their website and email and call Natalie at
Go Natalie.
443,
Go
go
Natalie.
Natalie,
Go Natalie.
443-691-1386. And we want to definitely thank Letitia for being here on today.
Right.
So
Do you remember
for
that? You
tomorrow,
remember what that's from?
what?
Go Natalie. Go Natalie.
Oh, oh yes, yeah, definitely. That's from the thing from Strictly Business.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh wow, that was good. Nice, nice one.
yeah. So that was
Nice
Strictly Business.
one.
So we
Unrehearsed. Yes.
we're back tomorrow night. We'll be back at our regular time, which will be 8
Right.
Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. And we came on just for a special, but we'll be talking about the light we carry. So
There
I'm
it
very
is.
excited. There it is. That's right.
That's
So I'm
right.
reading this and enjoying this, and woohoo!
And we'll be talking about some coffee table books as well.
Yes.
Beautiful photo books, things that you can sit out when you are entertaining, since we've gotten to a point, hopefully, where you may be entertaining again, bringing people in the home to, be around again.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yes.
But catch us tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern for hashtag Talk on Tuesdays. But I am Val the Voice, and you are.
Not. And this has been Interludes Extra special interview with Laticia A. King from Hallmark Mahogany's Spring Breakthrough. Val, see you tomorrow.
All right, there we go. Peace.